Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hello, my friends and fellow seekers from around the world. How's it going today? Happy Saturday or Sunday, whichever one it is for you. Who's all here today? Hello. Say hi, where you're from. Melanie, good to see you, my dear. Nice to see you. How are you? Welcome to the live today. Readings Extravaganza today. One of my favorites. Who else is here? I see a Jay. Hi, Jay. Hi, Brenda. Good evening. Oh, from Toronto. Beautiful, beautiful Toronto. Let me adjust my camera here a smidge. How's that? Yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, Jay. Just popping in. Veggie your nap. Everything sounds perfect. Well, I'm using the old setup. I found out what was wrong. I don't know how to fix it yet, but I found out what was wrong. You gotta love autocorrect, right? Hello, Catherine. Welcome to you. Hello, happy Saturday or Sunday. Hey, Jenny. Hello, Boise, Idaho. Boise. Nice to see you. That's you. I don't know. I'm not frozen here. How's everybody else? Video good? Melanie says, I'm good and thinking of, oh, and thankful for the makers of air conditioning. Yeah, it's hot here in Utah too. Catherine, you're great. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Brenda. How sweet of you for sharing your abundance with me. I honor and appreciate it deeply, and we can celebrate it together. It's you, Rev. Come on back when you're unfrozen. Hi, hello. How's everyone's weekend? So good to be here today. Jay was helping me earlier, along with our dear friend Nicole, trying to test out some audio things with my OBS. We did good, but found a problem. So more troubleshooting there. So today we're doing the old music through the speakers. Hello, April. Good to see you. How are you since your reading last week? That was major. So huge. Enjoy your nap, Jay, and have a good group tonight. Yes, feeling great. I love that for you, April. Yeah, Rev J can't stay. She's hosting a Zoom tonight with um, doing her Peshma channeling for some folks on Zoom, which I unfortunately cannot attend this evening. So we're all going to wish her well and great vibes. Hello. Oh, how do you say that? Rolson? Ooh, what a really neat name. Or Royson. Royson? Oh, yes. I thought that was an L because of my eyesight. Oh, how cool. Hey, Nancy. Good to see you, my old neighbor. Pleasure as always. How are you, my dear? Royson, is this your first time? I don't recognize seeing you before. Welcome if it is. Is this anyone's first time? Raise your hand in chat. It's a pleasure to have you all here, whether you're a returning or a first timer. Yay, Linda, it's your first time. You're so funny. It's your first time today, right? It's my first time today, too. It's my first live today. Linda, you are a hoot. How's that drill, Linda? How's that drill doing and all the painting? It's so good to be here with you guys today. Jenny, welcome. It's your first time. I love that for you. This is a very fun live. It's one of my favorites that I do. So for those who have not met me, my name's Greg Phillips. Currently, I live in Utah for a few more months. What I do is I'm an energy healer and a channel, as well as a spiritual guide for seekers and sensitives who are on the path to the heart. So my lives are very loving. We often have a really sweet vibe, and because I'm a bit of a spiritual goofball, we have fun as well. Hopefully I have fun. I think everybody else does too. Today's very special because, well, every day is very special because I love doing these lives. Readings Extravaganza is very special because everybody has a chance at a reading, and we put everyone's name into a wheel that spins and plays a little sound and some applause, and then the universe picks who gets the reading. And if you are selected, you get to choose from either an energy reading, a channeled message, or an oracle card pull. And I haven't bought any new decks lately, but we have some favorites that I like to use. And this one is the Dragon Oracle card deck from Diana Cooper, an amazing deck, super cool stuff full of beautiful dragons. And then this one is from Rebecca Campbell. This is the Starseed Oracle deck. So if you choose an Oracle pull, you can go with either deck that you like. It's like Roisin. Oh, cool. Oh, it's your second time. Oh, is your name what do I want to say? Is your name Gaelic? Roisin or Welsh or something? That's so cool. I love names. I like to try and say them right. It's like Roisin. You seem to find me when I'm really not expecting it. Well, that's a good thing, right? Because sometimes it's nice to be surprised. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. You're Irish. Oh, very cool. I just love names. I love culture. I love languages. They just fascinate me. Did you know? So many, many years ago, when I was in my 20s, I was studying deaf education, education for deaf people. And part of the studies was learning about speech pathology and how speech in deaf children develops differently than speech in hearing children. And they shared this one bit of this is the only thing I remember from that master's program, which is fascinating. They shared this one bit of information I'm about to tell you that to this day just blows my mind. So, not apparently, every child between the age of 0 and 4, they utter, meaning they speak every single possible phoneme or language sound from every possible language on the planet. And that's why when the kids are really little, it sounds like nonsense because they're actually sifting and sorting through, finding the language sounds, the phonemes that match the language that they're hearing around them. Isn't that fascinating? We are born with the capacity to speak, meaning use our mouth to speak, not necessarily understand, but to speak any language as a child until age of 4. And around the age of 4, it starts to solidify and lock in. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah, it's fascinating to me. It just shows that things are not limited. We are born on this planet as this unlimited, beautiful little being who has so much potential and capacity, right? And then, well, say whatever you want after that. You're then culturalized or familiarized or whatever. But yeah, the ability to utter every single sound from every single language on the planet up until the age of 4. That just blows my mind. Hi, Inga. Welcome. Hey, Soul. Good to see you. I'm just saying hi to whoever's pictures I recognize. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Melinda. Good to see you. Wonder if Patty will show up. So we had our very first deep dive session this last Thursday, and I thought it was just such a beautiful and amazing time. I was so pleased to spend time with several beautiful ones of you. You can call yourself out if you want to. I won't deliberately call you out. But yeah, it was a really, really wonderful time. And I am so glad. Hello, Ella. Good to see you. I'm so glad we did it. The next one will be in August. If you are interested, what is the deep dive? The deep dive is this wonderful opportunity to come together in a Zoom call where I take us through an energetic journey, and then there's time available afterwards to drill down in that. So this month's theme was connection with divine support. And man, did I really need that just as much as anybody else would have. So it was really, really beautiful. I don't know what next month's theme is going to be, but if you have any interest in finding that out, check out my link in the About tab of my profile and look for anything in there about my Patreon program. But it was super, super fun. And I've got some other beautiful new things coming as well. I'm not ready to announce anything, but I am going to be hosting a really lovely opportunity for everybody to get together on Zoom and just really go deep. And why I love that, I love hearing people's voices. It's like I get to ride the energy of their voice, and there's not that lag time in terms of expressing through text and whatever, which is it's like taking these lives on IT and just deepening them and making them more intimate and more beautiful. So it's super, super fun. Hi, Kimmy. Good to see you, my friend. How is the future? You enjoyed it too, Melinda? Yay, very good. Oh, we're all crybabies in our hearts, Melinda. Hey, Nicole. Thanks so much. Nicole was so helpful earlier. Nicole, I figured out what was wrong, but I don't know how to fix it yet. I just really appreciate your presence and assistance with testing all the sound stuff. It was amazing, Melanie. It was a really beautiful, beautiful thing. I have a new newsletter, if you email newsletter, if you guys are interested in hearing more about what's going on outside of Insight Timer. I created it because, quite honestly, I feel like it's difficult in Insight Timer to truly connect with all of my followers. And I'd like to be able to do that and deepen that sense of community and be able to offer stuff to you guys. So that's why I launched a Patreon and an email newsletter, and why I want to do events off of Insight Timer so that we can all come together and share space and just go deep and really learn about the heart and whatever else. So enough gab, gab, gab about that. Let's see. No worries. Haha, that's okay. Nicole, you really were helpful. I really appreciate it. Melanie says, I've shed so many tears in my life. It could end the drought. Oh, yeah, if you could water a whole garden with your tears, that would be amazing. Inga, you missed so much this week during your vacation? Nah, you didn't really miss anything. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. But you're here now, and that's great. Welcome back. Where'd you go for vacation? Is PETA there? PETA here. No, bed socks this morning, Nicole. Oh, I haven't worn bed socks since being in Utah. Joanne, good morning. Happy F note to you. And guess what I'm playing? Can you hear the music, Joanne? Can you guys hear the music first off? You're still at the sea. Music, yes, a little soft. Just can't hear the music. All right, let me see what I got here. Speakers are up as high as I can. Let's turn this up a smidge. How's that for the music? Melinda can hear it. Nancy hears it fine. It sounds nice. This is a beautiful track. So I have to tell, there you go, Jess. Very good. No problem there. This has a funny origin story. So Joanne and I are on socials together, and oh, I'm glad you're better now, my dear. Good to hear. Good to hear. So Joanne had a really powerful reading on Wednesday during the readings from the heart, and the guides encouraged her to play her crystal singing bowls one at a time and listen to see and feel which one resonated most powerfully in her body. So she wrote me the next day, or maybe my next day, her same day, and said that it was the bowl that is the F note. So I looked up the frequency for that bowl, which is 341 hertz, and the first thing that came up in looking for that was this YouTube video, Heart Chakra Healing Frequency Music. And so I sent it to her and I started listening to it. And I played it a lot in the last few days. So it's hello, Sheila, good to see you. Or I always forget, Shyla. My apologies. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, so this has a very yeah, you too. I love that, Joanne. Joanne's listened to it lots too. So this is just a beautiful energy, and the picture is really cool. It's basically a picture of the lotus associated with the heart chakra and a lot of green. Green is the color of the heart chakra. So I love this track. All right, let's make sure we can all hear the wheel. And the wheel is the wheel. I don't have a lot of names in it yet. Yes, you can hear it. I'm still amazed that you guys can hear the wheel. It sounds so quiet to me. Clear the list. Super. So, let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, I've had a huge breakthrough this morning. I always love to tell you guys about my breakthroughs. I like to share my process through my journey. Hopefully it inspires you, or you learn something, or you just, I don't know, hopefully it just inspires you. So as some of you know, as I've shared a lot in the last few months, I've really had this deep focus on learning more about abundance and really connecting with it on a much deeper level. One of the ways that I like to think about it is it's one of the topics that is important to me in terms of thinking about partnering with the universe, right? And so in doing that, I've been listening to a lot of stuff, and I've been getting help from people like Susan Sage, who's a teacher on here. If you haven't checked her out, please do. She's absolutely amazing. She's like my soul sister. Love her dearly, just love her dearly. Anyways, so I earlier this week, for the second week in a row, another outdated belief revealed itself to me. And this was an old one, a really, really old one. And it kind of threw me for a loop. It was maybe Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, but it really threw me for, actually, no, I think it was Thursday. It threw me for a loop because I thought, gosh darn it, that is not what I want to believe. My goodness, why? But I could tell that that's what my vibration was about. And part of this came about because I saw a quote from Abraham Hicks where they were talking about the universe isn't listening to what we're saying, they're listening to what we're meaning. And if there's an underlying belief that we're not in touch with, that's what's controlling our vibration. That's the vibration that we're sending out to the universe. No matter what we're saying on top of that, if there is an underlying belief that is in conflict or in contrast to what we're saying, the universe is connecting with the vibration of the belief, not with the words. And that was, I've heard that before, and I know that, but when I heard that this week for the first time in a long time, actually, it really snagged me. And I realized I had this really, really, I'm not gonna call it bad, but just really, really old belief. And it was basically a belief that nothing will come to me. This was the essence of it. So I was mulling it over this morning while I was on my morning walk, and I suddenly started laughing. It was basically about, I realized that even though I'm more tapped into knowing and seeing and acknowledging that the universe is abundant, and it most surely is, I wasn't sort of having that personal feeling, that personal connection that any of that abundance was for me. And I started laughing because I thought, well, wait a minute now. The sun is shining abundantly every single day. And it's going to shine on me, or it's going to shine on any of you guys. And the sun doesn't go, oh, well, Nancy deserves more sun today, and I'm going to shine stronger on her and not as strongly on Greg. It doesn't do that. It simply is in its essence. It's supposed to shine to its fullest as the sun, right? Even if the clouds come in, the sun still shines. We may not see it, we may not feel it, we may not be aware of it, but it's still shining at full strength. And that's when I realized it's not like the universe is saying any one of us is more deserving than another. It's saying, I love all of you. And that's when I finally got the feeling, and it's really important for me when shifting old beliefs to reach a new feeling place, right? Because the feelings let me know about the vibration. And I suddenly could feel and started to believe that the universe isn't just abundant, which that's really accepting and believing that has been a shift for me in the last 6 months, really, 6 to 8 months or so. But what I really started to believe today was that the universe is not just abundant, but also generous with that abundance. and then it doesn't give, it gives generously to all of us equally. And then, so that's when it sort of really hammered home that it really then falls on us to be the receiver of it, to really allow it in, really, to welcome it in. And so this is a whole new belief for me that I wanted to share with you guys, because it's one thing to see it as abundant, like to look around and see all the abundance, and it's another to see it as generous about the abundant, as abundance, about as giving freely of the abundance. And it's like so powerful for me to realize that. And this is a belief, this old belief that I had has probably been since childhood, has probably been since family, has probably been from I mean, I don't even know what age, right? And so to be able to really look at this and begin to shift it, I'm just so excited, because now all I want to do is look for evidence of a generous universe, not just an abundant one. Because I've every time I look and have talked to you guys about abundance, I could feel it energetically, but then I wasn't able to make as full a connection as I am now with this notion of a generous, abundant universe. So I share that with all of you, something to chew on. I'm going to continue with this because this feels like a major, major shift for me. And so I always share those with you guys because I like to. Nancy says it resonates. Yes, Joanne agrees with Susan. It's awesome. Thomas, a new feeling, belief, making space and creating new neural pathways. Exactly. And it's funny because I don't even think of them as neural pathways. I just think of it as flowing my energy better in a new way. Anyways, all right. Story time with Greg is over. We have 44 people. I love double numbers. Angel number, yay, 44. That means all is well. Thomas says, all beliefs and conditions are arising within me. The other day for me was nothing will and you can't expect to all fall in your lap. Oh, interesting. Melanie says, my mom grew up in the Depression. I feel like the whole tone in the house was scarcity. You know, my folks went through, my grandfolks went through the Depression. My mom grew up in the Depression too, I think. And then there was the energy crisis in the 70s. There was a lot of scarcity in my house, but I don't blame it on that. It's just that that was the environment in which I learned a belief. I learned a belief, meaning I accepted something as fact, as true, instead of determining, as I am now, determining whether I want it to be true. It's not true unless I believe it. And so I am letting go of the old belief about the lack of a generous universe. And I am willing and actually feeling belief in a generous universe. And man, when I say that, it feels so nurturing. It feels so safe and supportive. Like, of course, the universe would be generous because I believe that the universe loves us implicitly. So very, very fun. Music is getting a bit too overpowering. Okay, my dear. It is a little difficult to control. But anyways, guess what time it is? It's time for readings. Yes, Melinda, I was happy to add you. Guess what? I already have your name on there from the other day. All right, who else wants a reading? Who wants to get on the wheel today? It is a huge shift, Melinda, and I feel like I'm just cracking the surface of this. And also, I already saw evidence of this. Brenda already gave a donation. We haven't even done anything because I haven't hung out. Brenda gave a donation. Thank you for your generosity, Brenda. Love and blessings to you. All right. Melanie wants to be on it. Okay. Who else? Peter, my dear friend Peter Brook. Roche. Did I say it right? Roshan. Roshan. Oh gosh. Sheila. I am saying names wrong. I'm so sorry. Brenda. Generous, limitless abundance is a universal truth, Anna. I absolutely agree with you. Thomas, Tanya, Soul, Thomas, Tanya, Soul. Ella wants to be on the wheel. You asked so sweetly, Ella. How can I not? Everybody gets a chance. Nancy saw 222 today. Third time for Linda's 4-4. Okay. Jenny, please. You want to? Wonderful. Fantastic. What else we got? Did I get Tanya? I did get Tanya. I got Peta. I got Melanie. I got Roshan, Thomas, Shyla, Mary Lou. Hi. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Hadn't already done the wheel, Melinda. You weren't that late. Why not add me? Sure enough, Nicole. Why not? Why not, right? Soul, I did add you, my dear. Catherine, are you raising your hand? I think you are. I can't see the emotes really well on this side monitor. And Linda P, although right now she has a yellow flower. All right, let me read the list. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Melinda, Melanie, Peta, Roshan, Shyla, Brenda, Thomas, Tanya, Soul, Ella, Jenny, Mary, Lou, Nicole, Catherine, and Linda. Who'd I miss? Did I miss anybody? Speak up, please. Otherwise, all of you, my lovely assistants, male and female, will and theys will all tell me if I miss somebody anyways. Linda always has a beautiful flower pink. But for months it was purple, and now it's yellow, and it's thrown me off a little bit, but I love it either way. All right, so it sounds like I didn't miss anybody. All right. You're welcome, Soul. It's always a pleasure to see you. All right, my friends, we're going to drop in real quick and tap into our intuition. As I encouraged you last week, I challenge you to refrain from asking for general guidance. Try to be as specific as possible. But we're going to do this drop in real quickly. So I want you to close your eyes, feet flat on the floor. Place your left hand right there in the center of your chest on your beautiful heart chakra, and gently place your right hand right over it. So left first and then right. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Dear Spirit, please fill and open our hearts so that we can listen deeply and profoundly to our own heart wisdom, to our own intuition today. For anyone who is on the list or even not on the list and is seeking guidance, allow their heart to open fully so that they may be receptive to receiving the guidance. And allow their mind the ability to listen to what it is that they are truly seeking so that they know the question. For in locking our energy and intention into the question as clear as possible, we know that we can get the deepest and most significant reading for us. And my friends, just stay focused on your heart space and allow whatever question you have today to bubble up in your heart, trusting that even if it doesn't quite make sense, it could just be a strange phrase or a simple word or a feeling, that that is what your heart is wanting to know most about today. And hold that and cherish that deeply as I spin the wheel. I love this wheel. Too bad she's not here, but thanks to Rev J for telling me about the wheel. We have been sharing it with others as well. Melinda, you're the first contestant on the wheel of good guidance. Congratulations. All right, Melinda, what kind of reading would you like today? Energy reading, oracle card pull, or channeled message? And how can I be of assistance? What is the question? What guidance do you seek today? Wow. Oh, you meant woohoo. I was hoping you meant woohoo, Inga. Gotta love autocorrect. Yeah, it was funny, Anna. All righty. What kind of reading, Melinda? You know how this works. You're a regular. Oh, check out my background today while Melinda types that. Isn't this beautiful? This was the very first background I used when I first went live last December. Channeled message for Melinda. Fantastic. And what is your question, my dear? So many. Close your eyes, my friend. Just listen into your heart. I know you have a lot going on right now. Just listen into your heart. Allow your heart to tell you. Just wait until you have this feeling like that one of the questions is raising its hand like a school child, going, ooh, 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 call me, call me. And then pick that question. Thanks, Melanie. I love it too. I love all my backgrounds. Someday, my actual physical background, when I have my own place, I will decorate the studio and it will be full of beautiful and wonderful things, just like my virtual backgrounds. Doing great, Melinda. Use that superpower of your sensing feeling qualities. I do too, Peter. Hey, Yvonne, good to see you. Are you missing your C today? Your C's showing up under when I click on you, but not under chat. All right, Melinda says my daughter and her husband are in Atlanta and haven't made it here yet due to the issues with all the Microsoft stuff yesterday, which, since I don't watch the news, I have no idea what that's about. Okay, there's a little backstory. They didn't a night in the they spent a night in the airport. They were due here last night. Oh goodness. Okay. May not get here until Monday. All right. Yep. Gotcha. And what guidance do you seek? All of this makes me rethink traveling back and forth. All right. I sense your question is coming and maybe moving sooner rather than later. I see. I get it, Mary says. My flight delayed. I spent night in Denver airport. Now just got home to Virginia. What is the message? Strong time around. Okay. So before I even ask for the message, I'm just going to remind you that you are the manifester of your own reality. How does that relate to what you just described? What you just described, you can view as significantly or insignificantly as you so choose. Because what happened is irrelevant to what your experience could be. It just happens to be the experience that everybody had in the last bit. And it doesn't predict or dictate the experience that you will have. So, how is this serving you? Is a really good way to think about it. If it is bringing up the thoughts of wanting to move maybe sooner or getting that decided or settled sooner, then all it is doing is acting as a catalyst for you to sift and sort through what it is you're really wanting. But the last thing you want to do, my dear, is to be deciding to do something either out of fear or reaction to something that occurred that you weren't even necessarily part of as well, but just something that occurs outside of you. Okay. Yeah, you're just feeling into being closer sooner. Okay, so that's great. You're leaning towards sooner now because of what happened. So that's good. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll proceed with the channeling then. Guides and counsels, heaven, please over me to a message from Melinda. Said I'm in the service and love to her and anyone else's name. Thank you very much. Mm, mm. So there's a couple of things coming through, and I'm still sifting and sorting through the very first thing that came through, uh, which I don't quite understand yet, but it was the image of, I think it was a cup of coffee, and there was a bunch of foam or something on it. I don't drink coffee, so I never always, I know people add sugar and milk and things like that. Oh yeah, there was like milk had just recently been added, or whipped cream or something. I think it was probably milk, and there was a spoon stirring it. And I got the sense that when you think of a situation where you're stirring milk into coffee, right? At first, you have the deep, deep dark of the coffee that you can still see, and you have the bright, bright white of the milk that you see as swirlies. But as you stir with your spoon in the coffee, right? Café au lait, as they say in some places, what starts to happen is that the two colors begin to blend, and a third, more blended, more mixed, and it becomes more unified, right? So it becomes a softer brown, or depending on how much milk you put in, a more brown or white. Perhaps have a little coffee with your milk or something. But anyway, so the energy behind this stirring was very similar to the sort of sifting and sorting through, but so there was a sifting and sorting through energy that's associated with this, but there's also a particular mindset. So if you will, when we're sitting stirring anything really, right? We know from experience that you have to stir it a certain amount and then it will reach that mixed point, right? If you are stirring it and you're not at the mixed point yet, you don't go, oh God darn it, there's no mix point yet. Oh my God, you're stirring it. If you keep stirring it, you know that it will reach that blended point, right? And so their first message for you is to just continue to stir, allow the thoughts to stir. And then the other part of that they're saying is, as you're stirring, ask yourself, what do I want? What will be happiest for me? Right. And so the stirring is this notion of you're just being present with the sifting and the sorting. And each time a new thought comes up, I should move sooner. I should get my plans together now. I should maybe wait. Whenever they come up, you simply evaluate those and like, how does that thought feel? Does that thought make me happy right in the moment? Does that thought feel like what I'm wanting in my heart? So, as you've heard me say many, many times, the mind is a horrible master, but an amazing tool. So, when we're making all of our decisions from our heart, then we know that that is what, I mean, we're doing it not from fear or anxiety or or really anything other than joy, love, hope, contentment, positive expectation, right? But we can use the mind as a tool for this sifting and sorting, and it's perfect for that. The mind is perfect for sifting and sorting. You can look at one thing at a time and then ask the heart how it feels, right? Yes, I know in my heart what I truly want. What is it? Tell us, share with us. I'm guessing it's just to be close to your daughter and her family. I think I was already finally moving in that direction, but this solidified it. Absolutely. Yeah, I knew it because you've shared it before. And you know what's beautiful about this process for you, Melinda? You're going through it as a process because you've been thinking about this for months. You've been thinking about this probably longer than I've been thinking about moving to Tenerife, right? And so here you have been going on this journey, really very similar to the journey we took on Thursday morning or Thursday, yeah, on Thursday afternoon in the deep dive, right? You went on a journey and you've given yourself over to it. You surrendered to it and you've just paid attention and you've gotten really clear now on what you're really wanting. And in your heart, you're wanting to be close to your daughter and her family. And in that way, then anything is possible for you. You may not know what's possible, but anything is possible for you in this moment. So I would say continue to stir the coffee, continue to stir the coffee and watch. And remember that as long as you are present and continuing to stir, it will blend, meaning everything will mesh and resolve for you. And that may, who knows? That could mean moving really, really soon. That could mean moving in a month or two. We don't know. But once you've reached that point inside where you know you want it, then everything else is just details that the universe can orchestrate for you. And I mean, it's very similar for me, knowing what I want and feeling it in my heart and knowing that that's my desire and that's my dream. And then I have to let it go. I have to surrender. I have to say to the universe, this is what I dream. This is what I desire. This is my heart's desire. I will allow you to orchestrate all the details and show me what needs to do. Yeah, you're finally there. I love this view, and it does take practice, my dear. You are absolutely right. And here's the beautiful thing. Now that you're clear on wanting to do it, the universe has its marching orders. As long as you don't dictate the specifics, as long as you stay in this feeling, and it's beautiful. I can feel it in you right now, this desire to be close to your daughter and her family. It's a beautiful, heartfelt, loving desire. It's full of generosity and kindness and the love that you have for them. And I bet there's a lot of other great feelings in there too. Just the relief that that might feel, the joy that that might feel, right? There's a lot there. It could take time or it could not. It'll take as long as it needs to. I love this for you. I'm so happy to see that you have that heart clarity on this. Beautiful. Fantastic. Yes, the idea of really tuning into what I really want is new to you. I love it. But Melinda, you're doing such a great job with it recently. Like you're making huge leaps and bounds with this. I'm so excited for you. This is super, super cool. And you know, I support you on that 150%. So those feelings are finally taking over the feelings taking over the feelings of the overwhelm. Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing I've learned about overwhelm, and this is just my personal experience. For me, the feeling of overwhelm has always been rooted and come from thinking I need to do it all myself. And what that means, it means I forget about divine support. I forget about loving family and friends as support. I forget about my very own skills and talents as support. I forget about asking my heart what I'm really wanting. And the mind takes over trying to solve the whole puzzle itself. And invariably, I feel overwhelmed, overpowered, disempowered, and powerless over situations. And that's just because I was thinking too much. So that's my experience. Yes, I agree, Shallow. Wonderful, wonderful messaging. You're welcome, Melinda. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Fantastic. Okay, let's move on. Next spin. Here we go. Belinda, I am so excited for you. It's just really nice to see. I am now championing your move as much as I champion my own. Roshin. Did I say that right? Roshan? I can't. I have to scroll back and look at the. Could you please spell it out for me again? Anna, you're in Spain. Yeah. I gotta find Ro. Can I just call you Ro? I know it's short, but oh, I can't scroll all the way back. Okay, I apologize if I'm butchering this, but our lovely Gaelic Irish friend, Ro, yes. Ro is totally fine. I love that for you. Okay, Ro. It's cute, actually. I like it. I like it. But I want to call you what you want to be called. Roisin. Ah, Anna. Thank you very much. I am coming to Spain. Yes. Where are you in Spain, Anna? Palma de Mallorca. Oh, okay. I actually have a friend moving there. Ro, you're up. You're the next contestant, picked by the wheel of good guidance. What kind of a reading would you like? Energy, oracle, or channeled? Yeah, don't go out in the hot, hot heat unless you absolutely have to. Machine. Amazing. A channeled message, please. Okay, and what guidance do you seek today, my friend? What is your question, your intention, or the topic that you seek? Oh, getting warm already. Hmm. Thanks so much for being here, everybody today. It's always just a pleasure having you here. I love doing these lives for you guys. If you are interested in getting notified when I go live again, you know the drill. You are welcome to follow me. I love it when people follow. I am hoping to break 600 followers by the end of, or past 600 followers by the end of July. And today it is around 545. So that would be really, really fun. And if you are interested in anything else that I am doing outside of Insight Timer, just go to the About tab on my profile and check out my link. It's a link tree. It's full of all sorts of other links, and they go to all sorts of beautiful places like my socials. They go to my YouTube channel where I record my lives. And yes, I did record this one. And I put up the replay later for you guys to watch if you so wish. Actually, I better check if I recorded. I am recording. Fantastic. Yeah, and then there's just a bunch of other great stuff there. There's offline opportunities to join in. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff on Zoom where it is just so much more intimate and beautiful because we can talk and see each other. Camera's optional. I know some people don't like to see themselves, so it's totally fine. But yeah, just being able to chat instead of type just makes readings and sacred energy journeys that much deeper and more profound for us. So you are welcome to join on anything. So let's see what Ro is saying. All right, there we go. I feel that I'm moving into another phase of my spiritual journey. Again, I can relate to the again for sure. I wonder what I can do to open more, allow more, and embrace what is here for me next. Very, very cool. Okay, my dear. Your guides and circles seven please open me for a message from problem so that we can be the highest and greatest vibration and service. Oh, they are celebrating your transformation. They're celebrating your journey, Ro. They're showing me a beautiful country road that feels like you're walking on it. And they're inviting you to really drop into being the witness, the mindful observer, really curious about everything that you are experiencing as you stroll, really walking gently on this road. And what they're showing me the sun coming up, the sun setting, the sun coming up, clouds covering it, rain coming in, birds flying by, critters skittering around, flowers blossoming and then fading, trees reaching out their arms but dropping their leaves. It's almost like going through the seasons, but it's all very quick. And they're showing me that you're not being phased by any of this because you're embodying this mindful witness, this mindful observer. And as you see each thing, you're not stressing, you're not worrying, it's not causing anxiety, you're not flipping out, you're not, you might celebrate it, you might enjoy it, but it's not throwing you off your course. You're still walking on this road. And it's fascinating because now that I'm actually saying it that way, it's like when we know where we want to go for like moving or a journey. So for example, now Melinda is really clear on wanting to move to be closer to her daughter in Spain, and she has that level of clarity. And so she's been walking on that road, right? And you're walking on this brand new road, right? And in this case, though, you don't have necessarily a specific destination in mind, right? But you can walk that road as though you do. You can walk that road. Yeah, they're really encouraging walking that road with as much faith as possible, with as much belief, but also treating it like an adventure, treating it like an amazing adventure. Yes, there's a lot of questions that are not answered in a new phase, right? There's a lot of things that we don't know. But what do we know? We know we're changing. We know we're shifting. We know we're transforming. We know we're moving into a new phase. Well, remember, moving into the new and unfamiliar is exactly that. It's new and unfamiliar. I can vouch for that. I've been experiencing that for the last week. I'm doing a lot of new things right now, and it can feel awkward. It can feel uncomfortable. And I can be excited about it. I can look forward to watching it unfold as though I'm walking on a road like you are, and watching the weather change and watching the birds do their thing and watching the plants do their thing on the road. I am still in Utah, Peta. How is this feeling, Ro? I'm sensing that there's a little bit more, but I want to check in with you. I'm only in Utah for another 2 months. After that, I don't know where I'm going. All right, just waiting to hear from Ro. Laura, I'd be happy to add you to the list here. Ro, how are you feeling? What's going on for you in hearing all that? I'm feeling this so strong in my heart. It really resonates. Awesome. Let's see if there's anything more. Oh, they love you so much, Ro. They're so happy for you. They're so, that's why they're celebrating. They're celebrating because they're not, they really are trying to acknowledge that this is a choice you made. This isn't something that's just happening to you. This is a choice you made, and they so honor it and they so celebrate it. There's such a pivotal choice. Like there's just this whole dropping in feeling. They're just really, yeah, they're showing me this image of just swimming in a pool. And instead of being concerned about getting from one side of the pool to the other, it's just like enjoying every stroke, enjoying all the water as it washes over your body, just enjoying the temperature, just really immersing yourself into the experience as judgment free as you can. Obviously, mine's going to get in the way, it's going to happen. But yeah, they're just super excited for you, and they're really, wow, they're so, one of the reasons they're so excited is because, and this is true for all of us, my friends, so I'm just going to try and share it in a real broad way, but basically the universe just loves when we choose our own growth, when we say yes to things that we know will help us grow, when we say yes to following our calling, when we say yes to following and listening to our heart, when we say yes to a new phase like what Ro is entering into, or when we connect like with how Melinda is doing, to connecting with what her heart truly wants instead of all the overwhelm and all the mental energy, right? They just love that. They celebrate it. This helps expand the universe. This helps everybody grow. I mean, we don't realize it, but even just in talking right now about what Ro's going through, or what any of us here in the live are going through right now, when we say yes to it, I recently said another big yes. It's all part of the expansion and the evolution of the planet. It's not just personal, is what I'm getting at. It's collective. We are actually contributing to collective. So even in these moments where some of us at some times sit and wonder, gosh, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Where is my tribe? How do I fit in? I really long for belonging. Guess what? Every time you say yes to any bit of spiritual growth, you're contributing to collective. Your life has meaning in every single and purpose in every single time you say yes. And even if you say yes and then take it back and say no temporarily, and then go another 6 months of fear, like I've done before I actually launched my teachership, even if you do that, it is still serving the greater good. And so for Ro, they're wanting to really celebrate that yes. They're really inviting you to join them in celebrating that yes that you've recently said. Yeah, look at Kimmy showing your support. Love it. What? Brenda? Really? Fantastic. I'm glad. Does that mean you want me to remove you from the reading list, Brenda? I love when that happens. Brenda says, Ro's question was my question. Thanks for that reading. You are more than welcome. And thank you for your support, Brenda. I really, really appreciate it. Ro, how are you feeling? Is that complete? Do you have questions to clarify, or it's really powerful? That was a good one. Belinda says, I can really resonate with what you're saying. Have felt such a big shift and support since I've started to really trust more. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Yes, Anna, I believe it is. Your question to Melinda, whether that's the daughter. Yep, I agree. Ro, how are you feeling, my dear? Good, good, good. Got more question on that? You're good, Brenda. I took you off. Thank you so much. You got your reading. I love that. What do you call that? A reading by osmosis, or residual, or whatever. Fantastic. I hope I didn't lose Ro. No, we didn't lose her. So amazing. I committed to this path and have never truly doubted that this the only way that makes sense. Thank you for being here for us and for your guidance. You're welcome. You're welcome, Real. Thank you for your question. It's clearly helping more than one person today. So I hope that you can also breathe in and take that in, that your very own seeking of guidance is being of assistance to other people here today. So another bit of evidence of how we are all helping each other collectively. Very cool. All right, let's see who's next. Before I spin, does anyone else want to get on the wheel for a reading? Everybody has a chance when they get on the wheel. We never know who's going to get picked. Laura, I already added you, sweetheart. You're in there. I got you. Rose, okay. Yvonne, yes. It's funny, I had Yvonne on from the other day, and then I thought I shouldn't remove her. You're welcome. Kat, hello, my dear. How are you? We're going to add you. And April, yay. I'm going to shuffle the list and we're spinning. Much love to you, Ro. Such a good question. So appreciative. Linda P. You're the next contestant chosen by the wheel of good guidance. Step right up. The music is a smidge loud, isn't it? There we go. You knew it again. Linda, your powers of intuition are just growing and growing, and I love this for you. Greg, I'm not sure what type of reading, but my question, where the heck is he? You know I can't do predictive stuff, right? Even if I could, I wouldn't. I've been patient, worked on myself so much. I don't need a partner. Obviously, I have my own power tools. I feel I'm ready for companionship. Yes, you are. I feel that for you. Um, you don't know what type of reading. Sorry, guys. Gotta adjust the shorts. It's getting hot over here. Um, channeled message okay then? Channeled message it is. Okay. Oh, it's very hot here today, 94. All right, Linda. Guides and circles, please. Me too. A message for Linda P. So this may serve. The greatest not as good as love service. Thank you very much. Hmm. They're acknowledging your frustration, but you're letting your mind get in the way, my dear. You're letting your mind filter. You're letting your mind filter your external experiences, and that is throwing you off your intuition game when it comes to companionship. And they're reminding us, this isn't just for you, they're reminding all of us that when it comes to anything that we're wanting in our life, it is with the heart that we must choose, not with the eyes, not with the mind, but it's with the heart. And for some reason, they're showing me a kite flying. Someone is flying a kite. And they're using this as an example of how we know how do we know when a kite has caught the breeze? Is it the tail of the kite? Is it the how the wind fills the material of the kite? No, it's not. It's how it feels on the line when the wind catches the kite. Everything gets clear. Everything connects, right? The line goes taut, the line goes tight because there's now tension from the wind blowing the kite around, right? And then we have to steer it based on how it feels. Yes, we are using our eyes a little bit when we fly a kite. We are watching to see if the tail begins to, falter and look weaker. We are paying a little bit of attention to how the kite is moving through the air. But when we're actually steering the kite, we're doing it by feel. We're doing it by how it feels on the line, right? And so this is very much, let's see. And while we're steering the kite, we do need to keep our eyes open as well, right? Because if we just closed our eyes and did it by feel, the kite could get caught on a line, on a wire, on a tree. So we do need to keep our eyes open, but the whole time we're steering by our heart. And so right now, Linda, trust your heart, my friend. Trust your heart and continue. I mean, you have your power tools, but you have your other power tools as well. You have your intuition, which in all the time that you have been coming to all of my lives, your intuition has been growing leaps and bounds, right? I mean, can you see that? I hope that you can see that. And I hope that you acknowledge that and celebrate that, because ultimately that is how you're going to know when you meet him, because he's going to feel a certain way to you. And what's the reality here? The common denominator is not the him. You might meet him number one and him number two and him number seven. And I put them out of order because you don't know how the universe is going to orchestrate that. They might orchestrate the hymns in order. They might orchestrate them in a different order. But you're going to see him one, him two, and him seven. And they're all three different people, but you're the one. You're the one listening to your heart. You're the one listening to how they feel. And if you haven't yet gotten clear about how you want to feel in companionship, sit down and get clear about those feelings, my friend. Get clear about the feelings that you're asking for the universe to deliver to you in the form of another person, or I mean, you're not even being specific per se about partnership. You're just saying companionship. It does sort of blow your mind. I know. I know, because where you came from, what is this? This is July. I don't even know, remember when you started, but I think you started back at the beginning with me in December. Where you came from was a very different place. And so why is this significant? Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because when we look at where we came from without judgment, without stories, right? And then look at where we are, and we don't think of it in terms of gratitude, but we think about it in terms of like, wow, let me celebrate how far I've come. Let me celebrate where I'm at right now, not based on where I was, but based on where I am right now. And what does this mean? That means when you do that, I mean, I can't remember the exact phrase, but I was thinking about it earlier. Abraham said something many years ago about, I'm really satisfied and content with where I am, and I'm really looking forward to where I'm going. Kind of that sort of an idea, right? And so you can celebrate the now and plan for the party. You know what I mean? So I get it. Linda, I've been single a long freaking time. It has been, I mean, it's been dozens of years since I've held anybody's hand or kissed anybody, or, I mean, even been on a date. I just keep working on me. I'm not even working. I'm just trying to just enjoy my life when the time's right, and for me, it's a little different. I received a message a long time ago when I first learned that I was a channel, and then subsequently over the years that, yeah, I may end up having a relationship or a companionship that I want, and I will. I know I will at some point. But for me, it's a little bit different. I'm called to a higher love, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm called to be in service to a higher love. Does that mean that I don't have to experience the companionship? No, although I did think that for a long time. So look at where you've come from, celebrate where you are, and know that when you look at A and then look at D or C or B or wherever you are, A, whatever you want to call it, when you look at those, then you see that you have been growing. And if you continue to choose on a daily basis to grow towards what you're wanting, ask the universe for the feelings instead of the specific man. Continue to say yes to your intuition. Continue to trust the universe unfolding. Continue to trust your spiritual power tools. Continue to use them. It's inevitable that you're going to keep growing. And as you keep growing, you're going to meet different people. Okay, Thomas, that was for you too. Fantastic. Shine your heart like the sun, Linda. Peter says, yeah, okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm grateful and happy, so I'll continue to trust. You're doing great. Let me just see if there's anything else from them. They're reminding me of something that a human guide of mine once said to me about 25 years ago. And it was the first time I ever heard this. I'm going to share it with you guys. Disappointment, disappointment is like leaving a football game at halftime when your team's only down one score. That's what disappointment is like. So instead of waiting for the rest of the game, instead of showing up for the rest of the game and watching and waiting to see what happens, celebrating, supporting your team, in this case, your team is the universe, right? Cheering the universe on yourself, you're part of the team too. Instead of that, we're going, oh, they're down one touchdown or they're down one score. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'm cashing in. Well, don't let's not do that, right? That's just disappointment. Recognize that that's the mind evaluating and analyzing the situation and making a ridiculous assumption that it will never happen. Your team's just down one score. Anything's possible in the second half of the game. Sol, I haven't called on you yet, dear. So we'll have to, but so hold on to that. You probably just hit enter by mistake. Rumi, what you seek is seeking you. Yes. And who you are. Also, Linda, have you done your human design? Are you a projector? That's okay. So I figured you were pre-writing your question. I love that. You're welcome, Linda. You're not sure. Check your human design. If you are a projector, like I am, and a number of us here, we do things differently when it comes to other people. For me, as a projector, I need to be recognized, which for me is particularly challenging because in our culture, usually the women don't ask the men out. And I'm still learning how to recognize how to identify that somebody is recognizing me in a way that means that they're interested, which for most of my life, because I hid from the world for a lot of my teen years, was too scared of girls and people in general. I did not learn those same skills that other kids learned about recognizing interests. So as a projector, one needs to get recognized and then they can engage with other people. We need to wait for the invitation is what it's called. So check out what the way that might check out your human design. It's really easy to do. You just go Google free human design body chart or free human design body graph, and it will tell you what you are, and then start to research what that means. Start to research the strategy. Now you're lucky because, like I said, in our culture, usually it's the men who ask the women out. But who knows? Maybe you're going to find out something about your energy type where you're the one that can actually do the asking out. Who knows? But anyways, I don't know why, but I just certainly felt that maybe your human design would give you some clarity. And there's plenty of teachers on Insight Timer that do share about human design. One of my favorites is Vanessa Naja. Vanessa Naja. And then 1 second, I'll get you the other name. Kayla Mason. Yeah, thank you, Inga. You took it right out of my mind. I just saw her name and you typed that. It's yeah, Kayla Mason. Kayla Mason's awesome. Ah, Kaylin Bree. There you go. You are not alone in your quest, Melinda. You are not alone in your quest. It's a noble quest. I see horses and queens and princesses and knights, swords being drawn to defend someone's honor. It is truly a noble quest. Vanessa is great. She is a sweetheart. Kayla is a sweetheart, and they're so full of amazing, powerful information. Linda, my dear Linda P., are you complete? May I move on? That's a great reading. Good reminder for me too. I can get discouraged on that topic. I'm, honestly, and it's hard. It's hard. I have so much happening in my life and so much transition still, and it can be challenging. So I get it, Linda. I get it. It seems glib to just say keep the faith, but I just go back to the message the guides gave you. You're just doing such an amazing job with your own spiritual growth. Just keep at it. Yes, wonderful. All right, rolling again. Here we go. 1 hour, 17 minutes. This could be the final reading, my friends. If you have gotten value from any of these readings, please, I invite you to follow me. I love getting more followers. I celebrate every single time it happens. It just brings me so much joy because my whole mission is to reach as many people as I can, although only the right kind of people, which is you guys. So I really, really appreciate you being here. If you feel so called to share your abundance with me through a donation, I welcome it. I celebrate it. I honor the cyclical flow of abundance. Thank you for your generosity. It helps me. I am, as I said earlier, I am tapping into believing that the universe is a generous and abundant universe, not just abundant. And lastly, please do check out my link in the About section if you're interested in anything I'm doing offline. Oh, and if you're on Apple, I do have alternative forms of donation if you don't want them to take their 30% during the live or from the app at all. So anyways, that's the end of announcements. Guess who's next? Ella, are you still here? Ella? Ella. Reminds me of that Umbrella song. I loved that song. Linda, you do have so much to offer, and you offer it every single time you're here. Every single time I see you on lives. Thank you so much. I really appreciate both of your donations. We are looking for Ella. I hope we didn't lose her. Ella, are you here? Cat Blue, yes, not on my CR. What's your CR? Oof. My friends, let's be excited about the unknown ahead of us, right? Let's try our best to be excited about it. It's unknown. We can choose to get all squirmy and uncomfortable about it. It's unknown. It's got natural uncomfortableness to it, right? But we can also choose to be excited about it. I don't know when I'm going to move to Tenerife. Maybe I'm not going to end up there. Yes, I probably am, but maybe I won't end up there in the end of September when I need to leave Utah. I don't know where I'll go. Let's be excited about it. Maybe somebody else will host me and I'll have a beautiful, fun experience with them. Or maybe I'll go to another country for a little while where I can live more cheaply and still stream on Insight Timer and Zoom and all the other things I'm doing. Who knows? Let's have some excitement about it, right? Ro is going in a whole new direction. She's trusting it. It's powerful for her. She doesn't know where she's going. Let's have some curiosity and excitement about it. I know it's difficult, but it's possible. And that's why I'm sharing that. It's possible. CR Apple. Okay. Expect all good. We deserve it, April says. Absolutely. Yvonne says off topic. I think we're missing Ella. Off topic question. Does anyone else notice their phone gets hot while on the app? Yes, that's what it's doing. The really good question, Linda. I have observed this for years. It basically has a huge drain on your battery. Because I've noticed if I don't keep my mobile plugged in, that the battery goes down really quick, like within less than an hour on a live stream, and my battery is drained. Now, my phone it's not a phone, it's an iPod. It's older, it's not as supported, so it's an older tech. So that's also the thing, but it's a huge drain on the battery. And of course, the battery is energy, is power. And so yes, your mobile is going to get hot running the app. See, we all noticed it. I'm glad you brought that up, Yvonne. That's a really good question. Yep, Melanie says too. It sucks my battery so fast, and I have an iPhone 15. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Ro. I really appreciate and honor the flow of abundance from you to me and back again. Thank you for being additional evidence in of a generous universe. And I'm so glad you asked your question today. Yeah, Linda, I wouldn't worry about it, but obviously be careful where you place it, right? You don't want that heat going somewhere where you don't. Yeah, it probably won't fizzle, but it will get really hot. Even when it's plugged in, mine gets really hot. Oh, April says hers will not charge sometimes because it's really hot. I'm going to spin the wheel again, my friend, since Ella appears to have maybe had to go. One more call for Ella. Anyone see her picture? Yvonne, I keep calling you Linda. I'm sorry. Are you long lost twins? Maybe you have similar energy. I'm sorry, Yvonne. You know what it is? It's hard for me still, even all these months later, to keep up with chat. It's just hard. I need a bigger monitor, and B, I need faster eyes. So I apologize, my dear. I did add you, Inga, right now. Oh, I'm a goofball. All right, no, Ella, we're gonna spin. I added her in the future and then just did it now in the present. You still see Ella's bubble. Maybe she had to step away. Okay. If Ella comes back before we're done today, we might fit her in, or maybe we'll just what do you call it? IOU her. Melanie, I know you're still here. Melanie's still here. Melanie, you're the next contestant chosen by the wheel of good guidance. You did think goofball, didn't you? I'm a goofball. I'm a silly man, as they say. Yay, Melanie! I can't remember, Melanie. Have you had a reading from me in the past? I know I've seen you a lot and probably in other people's lives. I might have done one for you. I don't know. Anyways, what kind of reading would you like today? Channeled message. And what is your question? What guidance do you seek? Oh, everybody stretch. Oh, here we go. Whew, 94 degrees. I cannot wait to air the room out. This has been a joy today, my friends. Tomorrow we're doing the weekly channeled message for us all, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Come back and join us. It's just as much fun as the readings extravaganza. On Wednesday, we're doing readings from the heart, which is, again, more readings, but all channeled messages. Yeah, and then I'm pretty much going to stick with Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the time being. I'm really needing Friday off in between. But yeah, so that's pretty much the schedule. All right, let's see what Melanie's saying. Thank you, Peter. I love that about you too. How to get rid of financial roadblocks. Is April a dating coach? Oh, April. All right, Melanie. How to get rid of financial roadblocks. I could use a little more clarity if you're willing to explain a smidge more, Melanie. That would be great. Cold water. While you're explaining, I'm going to tap in. Guides and circles. Hmm. Hello, Liz. Good to see you. Welcome today. Hmm. Melanie, I'm inspired to do some energy work. So, okay. See what you're saying. My light seems to go dim whenever the subject of money comes up. Never seem to have enough, like my cat needs blood work. Okay. Okay. So initially, they showed me a very heavily trafficked road where all the cars were stopped, and there were a series of massive walls in front of them. And it really is a bit of an odd, peculiar image, if you will, because the walls to the drivers in the cars, the walls seem to have been designed into the road. Seem to have been designed into the road, which, when you think about it, is a not more than a bit peculiar. It's a bit silly, actually. Not a Yeah. Nobody would ever design a road and intentionally build walls in the middle of the road so that the cars couldn't pass through. But all the riders, all the drivers are perceiving that it's been built in there, but they also have this feeling like that they just sort of showed up on the road. And what they're showing me is that because the drivers are so focused on the road, they're not seeing that there is a one person wide path off to the side that easily and perfectly goes around the road. So they're wanting to ask Melanie, how are you focusing? Where does your how do I phrase this? This is very, very specific. I'm going to look back at what you said. My light seems to go dim whenever the subject of money comes up. Never seem to have enough, like my cat needs blood work. So, okay. You have a lot of layers here, Melanie, and there's a belief or a series of beliefs or layers of beliefs. And okay. They're explaining to me that your light is going dim because you have accepted an external belief when in your heart of hearts, it's not true for you. So the roadblock isn't so much that things are in the way of your money, it's that there's a belief in the way of how you see it. And it throws you off your game. I'm assuming that by saying that your light dims in plenty of other areas of your life, you're feeling like you are shining. Is that correct? It's kind of what I feel, but I'm not always right about these things and I'm not attached to being right. Yeah. So you're shining in every other area of your life. So, oh, wow. Wow. I don't know if this is right, and I'm not attached to being right or wrong, Melanie, but I'm just going to say it. This feels like a I'm not enough message. And this is something, yeah, this is something that you were told or heard. And when you heard it, you didn't know what you know now. You hadn't had the spiritual journey and the experiences and the growth that you've had. And so you have a choice now. You have a choice okay, hold on. It's going to say you have a choice to look at it, but then it said they have something else to say. They're saying you're stubbornly clinging to this not enough belief when it comes to money. That for not only have you incorporated this belief, which is not in alignment with who you really are, who you know you are today, but you're stubbornly, I can't say that word, stubbornly holding on to this belief and that it's not real. And so that's what's creating the layers upon layers. Yeah, it's always ties, the not enoughness always ties into self-esteem. Absolutely. Yeah, Linda just heard you don't feel worthy enough for it. Yeah. But the reason they added in the stubbornly is because that's the key. So really the thing you have to ask yourself is why am I holding on to this belief? I know this belief isn't serving me. And why is not always a helpful question, but in this case, we can do a loose kind of a why. We can do a loose sort of sifting and sorting through it, right? Where we're not using the mind to pass judgment on any of this. We're not using the mind to validate or invalidate any stories. We're just being the investigator. We're being similar to what we were talking with Ro about being on the journey and taking into like choosing to embody the mindful observer, the mindful witness perspective, right? That sort of an attitude, right? And so we're just sort of going to investigate. And this is something, Melanie, that like we could unpack this for an hour, and obviously we don't have that time. So I'm just sort of I'm giving you, what is it? I'm giving you a crowbar that you could use to pry open and peer in at Sidbit, or maybe even a little bit of a key so that you can open the door. But oh, wow, really? Holy crap. Okay. Okay. Wow, this just blew my mind. Okay, let me see if I got this. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Holy crow. Every single time when you focus on money and it dims your light and you feel bad, whatever feeling you want to attach to it or assign to it is whatever. I'll just say bad. That is your very spirit calling you forward to transform this. It's not the old you, the old self, the old stories. It's not even the pain or the hurt or the judgment of the not enoughness calling you forward. It's your very essence calling you forward. So it's not trying to bring you down, it's trying to call you forward. It's holding your light out further in front of you and saying, this is where you know you want to go. So it's wow, this is so profoundly powerful, Melanie. I've never ever perceived this concept before, but that's exactly what's going on every time you feel bad about money. But what happens for us as humans is we think, oh, I feel bad about money. I see all this lack. I'm in this scarcity, blah, blah, blah. And that keeps us in the scarcity. And the piece that we're missing, oh my God, that's why they showed the little path around the walls in the road. That little path is the path where if you just get out of your car, if you just get out of your mode of movement, if you get out of your mode of thinking for a moment and you notice that path because you have the mind of the witness, the mind of the observer, and you take a walk on that path, you end up on the other side of that road. It is, wow, holy crap, it is your spirit calling you forward, my friend. I don't know how else to say it. And that I feel like that is a truth that applies to everything where we might have an old outdated belief or something, to use Melanie's beautiful, brilliant words, that dims our light. It's not, oh my God, it's so amazing. It's not the past thing or the old thing that's dimming our light. It's us that's dimming our light in response to the call forward. Wow, I am like so blown out right now. That is like so cool. Okay, okay, Melanie. There have been times one of my cats dies because I can't afford the vet and hate asking for help. The guilt kills me. So I just want to invite you, Melanie, to just stop for a moment, think about that story that you just told, and just put the bat of that guilt down for a moment. Just with all our loving support here, just put it down. You don't need to beat yourself up over that anymore. I know it hurt. I know it must have been incredibly, incredibly painful. But this guilt isn't who you are. And your spirit is singing a song of calling you forward. Your spirit is inviting you, is wanting you to make this transformation, to make this shift. But there is a part of you that is just deeply and stubbornly attached to this perspective. And you're not going to see the path forward until you let go of that. So it's almost like an invitation to forget everything you know, and with new, fresh eyes, begin to look around. See, there's a habit in our minds when we see that we're believing or doing or thinking something that we don't want. We the mind always wants that it will recognize it and be like, I know I shouldn't be doing that, or I know that's not good for me, or I know that's not being of service, or I know that it's not serving my highest best. And then the mind immediately starts looking for other solutions, right? But there's a huge value to just letting go and allowing ourselves to drop into this void, this empty, open place where there are no answers temporarily. And there's a beautiful, creative power and essence in that void, in that emptiness. Yeah. Okay. It all makes sense. And honestly, at this point, there's tons. I mean, people are offering some wonderful bits of guidance and advice for you. I don't think any tool is going to help right now. I'm a big proponent of finding whatever tool works for us. But I really think that what you're being called, yeah, okay, thank you very much. Cool. You're really being called to surrender on a very deep, a profoundly deep level, Melanie. And it is a scary prospect for you. And I get it. I get it. I have had so much surrender in my life, particularly around money. But I believe in you. We all believe in you. And it's just, you can't move forward. You can't answer the call of your very essence if you are clinging on to these old beliefs. And okay, they're saying you have bought into the story and identified with them, and they're just a story. They're just a story that maybe you learned from somebody else, maybe you learned through observation. It doesn't matter where you learn them. It doesn't matter where I got this old belief that I was talking about at the beginning of the live. It doesn't matter where I got it. What matters is that I was willing to believe differently. And this is a big journey you're on, Melanie. This we don't know how this will unfold, but there's that essence of surrender. Well, the wounded healer, right? Chiron in astrology. It's just we all have a Chiron, you know. And you do have the ability to be a light worker, and you are a light worker. Even in this seeking of this guidance, you're a light worker. It's just that, yeah, there's so much more we could do with this, and I would really love to, but this is not the right forum for it, quite honestly. And yeah, there's so much to unpack here. It's really, and yet I want to wrap up this reading really encouraging you to surrender and not just the surrender, but yeah, they're telling me, Melanie, that you're just so talented, you're so amazing, you have so many beautiful gifts, right? And that's just this one major thing that majorly dims your light, and it's just because you've identified with it and you're clinging to it too strongly. And they're saying that they know you know what you need to do. I don't know what that is. They're saying they know that you know what you need to do. And it's probably, if that's the case, it's probably just a really difficult, scary consideration. But we all believe in you. We all know you can do it. I believe in you. I see it for you. Yeah. Melanie says, I feel like a lotus wanting to blossom, but I'm stuck in the mud. I lost belief in myself. Now, here's the big thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say. You seem to be really stuck on telling the stories of what's wrong. And therein lies the challenge. Therein lies the roadblock. It, I hope I didn't say that harshly. I was trying to be firm without being mean, but that's the energy that I'm picking up on. And like I said, I'm not attached to being right or wrong, but every single response that you've had, Melanie, has been more story about what's wrong, more story about how you're bad, or not bad, but how you're not worthy. And I get it. When we're doing major transformation, major shifting like that, sometimes all we can do is tell that story. But I'm just here to be of assistance and point that out, because you have the possibility, you have the capability, not just the possibility, you have the ability to tell a different story right now. And it could be a very neutral story. Maybe that's where you start. Maybe you can't tell the story of abundance for you right now. That's too big of a jump. Don't try to tell the story of abundance for yourself. Try to tell the next one up from where you've been and just do it incrementally. Baby steps, my friend, baby steps. Okay, okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't harsh, but just telling you what the energy is saying to me. And yet, I have to say that I have complete confidence in you in this. I don't doubt this for you. I don't know why. Don't have a necessary reason to doubt or not doubt, but I don't doubt it. I believe it. I believe in you. And I believe that when you let go of all these stories and just drop into this surrendered, pregnant, open place, you're going to suddenly see things differently. But you can't see things differently. Just let go of the guilt, my friend. Let go of the guilt around your cat. Let go of the guilt around not feeling good enough. Let go of the shame. Do everybody hear the difference? Everybody know the difference? I was told this 30 years ago. The difference between guilt and shame is very simple because they feel the same. But guilt is the feeling that I did something wrong. Shame is the feeling that I am wrong. They feel very, very similar. And it's funny because many of us have been, this just came up earlier this week with a client. Um, Many of us have been conditioned to feel guilty when we don't do something. That's not guilt, that's shame. And we just need to let it go because all that is a story that reinforces against who we really are. And who we really are is love. Who we really are is light. Who we really are is this amazing extension of the universe manifest here on the planet to be, for many of us, to be of service or simply to just be in joy. Yeah, Melinda's saying, you got this, Melanie. Sending so much love. Oh, you're welcome, Melanie. I know that this is really, really deep for you. It's not work, my friend. It's just the journey. You don't have to work at it. You just open your heart to it. Open your heart to it, my friend. And I know I can feel that you are a huge heart person. Yeah. Yeah. I love this for you. I know it's difficult. I know it. I know it's challenging, but I love this for you. You're in a pinnacle moment, Melanie. That's just like if you just willingly show up for having awareness around this, and if you just willingly walk this journey, willingly not letting those old stories weigh you down, and just be present with whatever bubbles up, whatever reveals itself, whatever unfolds, you're in this. It just they're just like beaming this at me for you. You're at this pinnacle life-changing moment. I'm saying it with so much emphasis. I don't have the right vocalization. I don't have the right languaging or words to convey the intensity of this energy that they're showing me right now of how pivotal this is. And I'm not sharing that to add more weight or pressure to the situation. So please don't go there. I'm sharing that because this is fantastic. This is amazing. This is life altering. And that's why I believe in you, because I can feel what they're showing me and asking me to tell you. And it's pretty damn exciting to feel that degree. Like I said, I don't have words to convey the scope and the depth of this pinnacle that you are reaching. Yeah. Super, super huge. I love it. You do have a huge heart. It's awesome. Oh, April. Yeah, the shame monster. Yeah. Do you know what? I just, for me, my friends, I just get so tired of the old stories. And when I see them lately, I mean, thankfully, and this can be true for all of us. Thankfully, I'm seeing it and I get this moment of clarity and I'm suddenly like, oh, that's an old story. That's not what I'm wanting. That's not what I'm wanting. And then somehow I remember, oh, right. What am I wanting? I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on that. And then where's the turning point for me? It's not making a massive jump from, oh, this isn't what I'm wanting to this is what I'm wanting. It's making a baby step in saying, I'm willing to believe differently. Melanie, are you willing to believe differently? Are you willing to believe differently? That's the only question you need to ask yourself every time this comes up. Am I willing to believe differently? And if you say yes to that, even on just a little iota's worth, you will begin to domino effect and put that together. Yes, see, with an exclamation point. I'm willing to believe differently. That's all the universe needs to hear. I'm willing to believe differently. That's your stepping stone, my friend. Follow that. Follow those stones across the pond. I'm willing to believe differently. I'm willing to believe differently. I'm willing to believe differently. What does that say? What does that say when we say that to the universe? That says, I hear you, old story. I hear you. That's in my mind. Old story. It's not real. I'm reliving it in my mind. That's why I feel like crap. I'm reliving it right now in my mind, which is why I feel crap. I hear you, old story. That's not what I'm wanting. I'm willing to believe differently. I don't know what to believe yet. This is what I did this week. I had this, I'm just going to say it really super clearly. I suddenly realized that I thought everybody in the world was stingy and ungenerous, which is so not true. And I was like, oh, what? Where does that come from? And I didn't drill into where, but I saw it and I was like, oh, old belief. And I was like, that's not what I want. And then I immediately realized I'm willing to believe differently. I'm willing to believe differently. And then what came to me in my walk today was the realization that the universe is not just abundant, but generously abundant. That it gives freely of its very essence, and it's constantly, constantly giving to us. And I told the story earlier when the live started about how I imagined the sun shining on Nancy differently than the sun shining on me. And I thought that's ridiculous. I'm no less deserving for sunshine than Nancy is. And I just used Nancy as the example back then because she was the last one who had put something in chat. The sun shines brightly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, all lifelong. The sun will continue to shine brightly until it starts to die. The sun shines brightly even when the clouds come in. The sun shines brightly even at night. It's not shining brightly at night where I live. It's shining brightly at night in the day where one of you lives. Like Joanne down in New Zealand when there's such a time difference. So the sun is always shining bright. And that's when I realized the universe gives so freely of itself. It truly is generous. And it's my job, it's not even a job, it's my responsibility to now look for evidence of the universe's generosity. And where is it? My friends here in Utah, they generously opened their home to me. Marty's family generously gave me money to buy a laptop and paid for the train ticket and I needed to renew my passport. They generously did that so that I would be in a position to move out of the house so they could handle family matters. You guys generously give when you donate. Even if you give $1, you may not think it makes a huge difference, but oh my God, it makes a massive difference to every single teacher, whether they ask for it or not. It doesn't matter. If you felt value, you feel called. I'm not asking for a donation right now. I'm just using it as an example. What else? When somebody's willing to work with me privately, how generous of them. When somebody stops for a moment and holds the door open for you, how generous of them, right? When you're in the shopping center, when you're in the grocery store, and somebody has the enough spirit and awareness to notice that they parked their cart in the way of everybody else and they maybe didn't realize it at first. Do we sit there and immediately judge and say, well, what an idiot? Yeah, we do sometimes. But when they notice it and they move it and then they apologize, what an example of generosity. And every time we cut somebody some mental slack, instead of judging them, we are being generous of spirit. We are the evidence of a generous, abundant universe. So thank you, Melanie, for your question, because wow, that was a big, long, lots of huge download of information. And I'm glad it helped so many people. I'm going to modify your statement, April. April said abundance is truly a state of mind. Recognizing, seeing abundance is truly a state of mind, because the abundance is what is. It's everywhere. It's just how the universe was built. It just is, because it's energy, it's love, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transmuted or transitioned or transferred, whatever it is. It can only be transmuted or transformed. That's it. It can only be transmuted or transformed. It just is. And so when we take the opportunity to see it and recognize it, when we take the opportunity to have the state of mind that April is talking about, then we see it. And when we see it, we can connect with it. And when we connect with it, then we're in alignment with it. And when we're in alignment with it, that generosity just flows to us, because it's its very nature. Very cool. I love you guys so much. You guys have so much wisdom on top of what we already talk about. Melanie says, I had two friends fly me to and pay for everything in the last year. One for a girls' weekend, the other this wedding. I'm so grateful. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yay, PETA. You received that, April. Yeah. I hope that was like an addendum. I didn't ask, but I added an addendum to your statement. Yeah, Melanie, again, right there. I know you're trying to fill in and explain some things, but again, my dear, it's just part of your old story, and you're willing to believe differently. You're willing to believe differently. Yeah, there you are. There's the rest of the story. So happy I went. Both were so fun and much needed. Bingo. Exactly. You're transforming that story even in the very moment. I love this for you. Charlotte says, I don't want the old stories. Had enough of it. The stuck feeling pulls me, and I have to constantly remind myself. Yeah. Charlotte, are you willing to believe differently? Universe, I'm willing to believe differently. God, I'm willing to believe differently. Spirit, I'm willing to believe differently. Divine, I'm willing to believe differently. Please show me the way to do that. Please show me the way to do that. And it'll be your own unique way, and you will gain a beautiful sense of wisdom around that. And then you'll be able to share it with us at a future live, or when you become a teacher or something. April, what I love is pay it forward when you're able to bless somebody else. It is really nice, isn't it, April? I love that too. All right, my friends, we're 1 minute shy of 2 hours. I can't believe this recording is going to be massive. It's going to take a while for it to render. So don't look on the YouTube anytime too soon, because I need to go cool off before I process the video. But thank you, Melanie. Love you all as well. Love you dearly. Absolutely. I am championing, I don't even know how to say it. I'm here to champion for you as well, Melanie, just for all of you. I love championing. I need to find a better mouth. Championing all of your breakthroughs. That is one of my favorite things to do. So, my dear friends, this has been a powerful live stream. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for contributing your presence, your love, your energy. You're just very beingness here. You are what makes these live streams possible and what makes them so magical. Yeah, sure, I have a gift, but if I don't have people to be of service to, then I'm just sitting in my room um, meditating, which I've done for 30 years. So it's really, really, really meaningful to me to be here to share with you, for you to receive, for you to chit chat and converse back and forth. And I look forward to seeing you all on a future live, either mine or somebody else's tomorrow night. It's the weekly channeled message for us all. That's a collective channeled message. It's a shorter live. It's only going to be about an hour, maybe a little less. And then I haven't booked the next week's lives yet, but I will do that soon. And so I am going to send you all off with much love, big virtual hugs. Looking forward to seeing you soon, talking to you down the road, or checking you out on one of my offline offerings. So many, many blessings to you all. Have a great rest of your day. Stay cool if you are somewhere excessively hot like I am. Or if you are in the winter in the southern hemisphere, I hope that you stay warm. All right, my friends, take care of your beautiful hearts. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.